Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on just a bunch of mainly DCTV news, but also a side of movie news at the same time. But I think it's only one thing. The rest of it is DCTV stuff. But yeah, we're almost in the third month of 2024 of this year. That's insane. But yeah, this year is already going through it at like an insane rate. And with Superman Legacy only weeks away from the start of filming, that is, expected to, kickstart the consistency, if you want to put it, on production updates and, start of proper development for various projects in this new DC reboot across both film and TV. Now, in this video, we're going to go over a report that breaks down some new updates across a handful of upcoming projects, all of which are expected to start proper production by the end of this year, though one could be for the first half of next year. That's a wait and see, but we'll bring that up when that project comes up in this discussion. But this is coming from Trailblazer or thetrailblazer.net in a report that goes over a bunch of entertainment news, but has a specific section focusing a lot on this DCU stuff. So yeah, we're going to go over all of this, break it down and give thoughts when needed. But of course, throughout the video, let me know your thoughts on this stuff in the comment section down below, whether you agree with it, disagree with it, have some other opinions, let me know. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, want to show your support, drop a like, takes 2 seconds. So the first thing to talk about is about Walla. Now, this is what they're saying. The spy series, Walla, is still in development after it was originally set for a 2024 release, though that may be delayed as filming has yet to occur due to the strikes preventing work from progressing last year. Alongside James Gunn and Peter Safran, the series has added some remarkable talent in Chris Provenzano, who is known for Mad Men and Justified, who is producing the series with showrunners Crystal Henry and Jeremy Carver. Amanda Waller herself, Viola Davis, is also producing through her and her film producer, Julius Tennant's production company, Juvie Productions. One recurring name in these listings is casting director John Papsadera, who is known for The Dark Knight, Tenet, The Suicide Squad. He's worked with Chuck Roven, I think that's why, the producer, and he is the overall casting director for the DCU and has had a stellar track record already with Superman Legacy and their castings, which is also being produced with executive producer Charles Rovens, who I just mentioned. He's Atlas Entertainment, while Lars P. Winther, who worked on Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy films as a co-producer, is also amongst the producer team. But here's like the main bit, and I guess the new bit in regards to the Walla thing, because we now have a log line or a synopsis for the Walla series via this sort of production update, and this is what it says. A live-action series, the spin-off of Peacemaker, centered around Amanda Waller and her relationship with her daughter, Leota. If there's one government bureaucrat who shouldn't be messed with, it's Amanda Waller, founder of the infamous Task Force X, better known as the Suicide Squad. Now, Leota Adebayo was played by Danielle Brooks in Peacemaker. She will reprise her role in this series, as well as in Peacemaker Season 2, and maybe some other series going forward also. Now, Walla to me is, I think, the series which could be really, really good, but I don't know if there's necessarily a ridiculous amount to be excited about it at this point. Now, we know it's going to carry on from Peacemaker, because it's a spin-off, as the logline does say, and as we already knew before. But we just don't necessarily know like how big and impactful it's going to be, if it's going to really be this big thing for the DCU, like, oh my god, Waller's exposed and stuff like that, or if it's a very personal thing. That's a wait and see. Like, they have some very interesting names attached to it, like Crystal Henry, who was a part of the Watchmen HBO series, and then of course, Jeremy Carver. But I think this is one that we just have to sort of wait and see what they deliver, because I don't know if anyone necessarily thought we'd get an Amanda Waller show. We thought we might just get something where she's the lead and it's maybe like another Suicide Squad-esque show, like maybe like a smaller division like Checkmate or something like that she would lead, but it's going to be focused on her and maybe a bit more of a personal thing with her and her daughter and the follow-on from what happened at the end of Peacemaker. So it'll be interesting to see, but I think at the moment, as I said, there's nothing really ridiculously excited to go on about. But this is a show that should start filming at the end of this year. The only thing could just be the conflict with Peacemaker and the fact that Danielle Brooks is meant to be in both, but they could just both film in the same city and just make it easier to cross and do both shows, or they just figure it out. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. The next thing to talk about is Booster Gold, and this is very brief, very small, and this report is just saying that the comedy, and they're labeling it a comedy, which you'd expect, I guess, Booster Gold to be, but they're saying the comedy Booster Gold is listed as in that it's in active development, which, I mean, it was announced, so I guess it's in some sort of development, and I mean, you'd expect it to be in some form of active development. This could just mean that they've started looking for showrunners and, specific writers to join the crew and everything like that, if not just other producers to be a part of it. So this is the one show I was talking about before, which could be left till next year to start filming, like just because there's nothing about the show, while everything else we talk about in this video has multiple people attached or already other castings and things like that. So it'd be very surprising if the show started filming by the end of the year. This is probably one that's definitely like early, like first half of next year at the earliest. This is a show I'm looking forward to, so I can't wait to hear more about it, you know, whenever that news does drop. Now, the second last thing to talk about is Lanterns, the Green Lantern show, which is of course be focusing around Hal Jordan and John Stewart, and this is what the Trailblazers report had to say. The terrestrial-based cosmic detective story Lanterns is being produced by Gunn and Safran alongside Damon Lindelof, who's best known for Watchmen, Lost, and a bunch of other shows like The Leftovers, for example. And he was previously revealed to be consulting on it, and comic book writer and DC Studios writers Remember Tom King will also be producing it. Also confirmed in the listing is that Chris Mundy, known for True Detective, Criminal Minds, and Ozark, is serving as showrunner of Lanterns, and this was first revealed by the DCU leaks Reddit. Now that's an impressive resume, while Nathan Fillion will reportedly reprise his role from Superman Legacy as the Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, bowl cut and all, and this lends to indicate that DC Studios is ramping up production after a slow development year, save for Superman, no thanks to the dual Hollywood strikes. Now, a lot of this stuff we'd sort of already like heard about, like Damon Lindelof being attached. I think the Tom King thing might be new, but maybe this is the thing that he really wanted to be attached to, and he's a part of the writer's room. So it's like, hey, I really want to be, you know, a part of that thing. And obviously the Nathan Fillion stuff we talked about before, and I think this might have actually been originally reported by DCU leaks as well. And I think they said he's going to be in like 2 to 3 episodes based off the original reports, but that's a wait and see. Now, as I said, this is focusing on Hal Jordan and John Stewart. It's not meant to be as, you know, a thing where Guy Gardner necessarily is a main player, but we also have heard that like this was meant to be somewhat grounded to Earth, but then they're saying it's terrestrial based as if it's space based. So, but then again, that could just be like, you know, I guess like Alien and all that stuff. So it'd be very interesting to see like how much space is involved and how much Earth is involved. Because I think if Guy Gardner is going to be a part of it, all his stuff would be on Earth. But it'll be very interesting to see how they fold it all in and everything like that. The only issue I have is that I still feel like Nathan Fillion is miscast for the role, but once again, he could pull off like a tour de force of acting or something and just be like very believable as Guy Gardner. But you know, Superman Legacy will let me know if I need to be worried or not. But I guess if this show starts filming at the end of this year, like this might come out by the end of next year, so only a few months after Superman Legacy, or like at least half a year or something like that, so maybe not too much of a break. But yeah, this is definitely one of the shows I'm looking forward to very much as well. And the final thing to talk about is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. So Superman might be kicking off the film side of this new universe, but his cousin Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, has her own share of adventures that have yet to be fully tapped into in the cinematic media, and that is until Millie Alcock suits up as the Girl of Steel in Superman Legacy for release next year, ahead of her solo film, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Now, of course, this is based off the comic written by Tom King, and it follows a more jaded Supergirl who was raised on a chunk of her home planet Krypton, as she lost everyone around her, watching as they all died while her cousin was, you know, being raised by loving parents back on Earth, or down on Earth. And now we have more insight into how this film's interpretation of the comic, which appears to mostly be a direct adaptation of the source material, will translate over into the DCU and how it connects to the story of Legacy. And this is because the synopsis or logline for Woman of Tomorrow came out reportedly, and this is what it says. Kara Zor-El has seen some epic adventures over the years, but she now finds her life without meaning or purpose. Here she is, a young woman who saw her planet destroyed and was sent to Earth to protect a baby cousin who ended up not needing her. What was it all for? Wherever she goes, people only see her through the lens of Superman's fame. Just when Supergirl thinks she's had enough, everything changes. An alien girl seeks her out for a vicious mission. Her world has been destroyed and the bad guys responsible are still out there. She wants revenge, and if Supergirl doesn't help her, she'll do it herself, whatever the cost. Now a Kryptonian, a dog, and an angry, heartbroken child head out into space on a journey that will shake them to their very core. Now, the reason that this logline is interesting is because one of the big questions about this project was like, how faithful, if not exact, is it going to be to the comic? And it sounds like based off this, it's going to be pretty accurate to the comic, you know, with all the characters and stuff like that. But one of the big things was the setting, because in the comic, she's just in space on another planet. But on this, by the logline, it sounds like maybe the alien girl finds her on Earth and then they go out from Earth and do their stuff, or maybe it's just missing the different parts and not wanting to necessarily explain the movie bit by bit, and that Supergirl does go elsewhere, and that's where they run into the little alien girl and start this journey. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but that was one of the big questions, and this logline doesn't necessarily answer it, but it just says that, you know, I guess she's going to be on Earth for Superman Legacy, that's where we'll meet her, And I'd assume that's maybe where we start seeing her from the beginning of this Woman of Tomorrow film. But once again, it's a wait and see. The logline doesn't 100% confirm it, but it also just doesn't, deny it at the same time either. The one thing that this does just, I guess, confirm it if it is legit is that the movie's going to be very, very much like the original comic that it's being based off. But overall, as I say, like the one that doesn't interest me at like a ridiculous amount is just Walla. But that's just because we just don't know that much about it. That's one of the things you just sort of, I guess, wait till you start watching it or at least see a trailer and stuff like that. But like Booster Gold and Green Lantern are pretty equal to me, or the Lanterns, might I say, to be correct. So Booster Gold and Lanterns are the two shows I'm probably equally excited for. Lanterns probably just pips it if I had to choose one, but if I'm just being, I guess I just don't want to pick, and be certain there, I can just say, both of them are pretty equal. So Booster Gold and Lanterns are right up there, but Supergirl definitely has my curiosity. I love the casting of Millie Alcock in the role. So it's definitely a movie that I'm looking forward to, but I think maybe Superman Legacy might help confirm that, just to see how she's in that movie. So yeah, so I'm going to say Booster Gold lands up top, Supergirl, I guess, tied second or third. Yeah, and then Walla in last. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts and everything we went over. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.